News, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to Washington, D.C. I see here many community leaders coming from all over America, and I welcome you here. I welcome you as this is a time we need to stand together. You know, equality, equal rights, protecting human rights is an American value. So in a greater context, I proudly represent Michigan's 13th Congressional District, which is the great city of Detroit. And, you know, my community, Detroit, which is a 78% African American community, knows what it is to fight for rights, fight for voting rights, fight against discrimination, racial discrimination, fight against systemic and institutional racism, decades, centuries of discrimination, and how that has affected the rights, right to vote, right to obtain housing, right to obtain employment, whether it is financial, bank loans. There is a systemic discrimination my community has experienced for decades, and I'm fighting for the African American community in my district. I also grew up in India, as you know. My mother raised me as a Hindu. The values my mother gave me have lasted me a lifetime. Values that are ingrained in the Hindu philosophy, in the Sanatan Dharma, in the the teachings of Hinduism, and that is how my mother raised me in a small town, growing it in poverty. But what helped me grow out of that adverse situation is the value system that I got from my mother. And today I am seeing in the United States a substantial increase of attacks on Hinduism. A lot of misinformation being circulated, whether it is online or otherwise. And having practiced Hinduism, having grown as a Hindu in a Hindu household, I know what Hinduism is. It is a very peaceful religion. It is people who practice their religion in a peaceful manner, in a compassionate manner, and a caring manner. It is not a religion that attacks others. It is not a religion that is aggressive against others. It is a very inclusive religion. It is a very inclusive community. However, this community continues to be misrepresented, misunderstood, sometimes deliberately so. And so I recently joined 4 of my Indian American colleagues to write to the Department of Justice. You know, one of the concerns that we had was that the rising attacks on places of worship. We've seen those happening California, we have seen those happening all the way in New York and all across America. And it appears to be a very coordinated effort to attack these places of worship, which has created a lot of fear in the community. And often what we have seen is that the law enforcement, the local law enforcement enters into these investigations, and rarely any suspects have been identified, and that investigation goes nowhere. And what that does is that it leaves the community feeling like nobody cares about them, nobody reports back to them on what's going on. And that means that the community continues to live in fear. The community continues to live in an adverse situation with essentially no help from law enforcement. And what we are asking Department of Justice is that we need coordinated efforts between the local law enforcement and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice, and a higher priority needs to be assigned to such hate crimes against this peaceful community. And that is what we have asked the Justice Department to do. And it is time for the whole community to come together and make sure that we demand equality, that we demand justice, and that we will not tolerate such hate against Hinduism. We will not tolerate the Hinduphobia that we have experienced. And that is what we are here to say. That is what I'm here to say. And as the fifth Indian American congressperson, a person that deeply values Hindu philosophy, Hindu religion, Hindu ideas, I am here to lend my voice. I am here to lend my support to the Hindu community to ensure that they too have a right and an ability to live without any kind of discrimination, without any kind of hate, that they have the ability to practice their religion, their values, without such hate and without such attacks. So that's what I'm here to. I have introduced the resolution into the United States Congress, and through the resolution and the letter that we wrote to the Department of Justice, we continue to put pressure on this administration to ensure that the Hindu community has the rights and has a right to live in peace and be able to live without the fear and without the attacks and without the hate that we have experienced. And we have experienced substantially more events of this kind in recent months. And I have a feeling that this is just a beginning. This is just a beginning of a very coordinated attempt against this community, and the community must stand together. The time has come, and I will stand with you. Thank you.